emotions over the past 7 days or 8 days. But it's also very satisfying to see what is ultimately kind of more than a year's planning coming together. I'm starting to work on next year now. And certainly the team really starts going as a January. And we start taking films and preparing ourselves, and then it's summer is extraordinarily busy. So it's nice to be here. It's nice to see the theaters full of people. Being this year, and then it's the first year.
Amazing. I've heard and spoken to quite a few filmmakers about the films, and it's always amazing to hear sold out. Like, you'll have to try your luck, and that's exactly what you want to hear. How did your path lead to becoming the executive director of VIFF?
My path?
Yeah.
I have had a twisting path all along the way, a little bit unorthodox. So I started my career in the arts as an artist, as a musician, and toured and played thousands of shows. And then I ended up, through kind of happenstance, running these two really important community music venues in Montreal for a long time. So I'm general manager of Casa del Popolo and the Sala Rosa, which are kind of for sort of the vibrant music community of Montreal, especially in 2014. And then that was where I kind of learned my organizational chops. And then when I moved to Vancouver, I worked in the So I worked on set, I did a lot of art work, commercials, and union and non-union shows, and ended up really learning that side of the business. And then I wanted to be one foot in the arts door, so having just arrived in Vancouver, I worked at the Jazz Festival, and I worked for Short Fest, and a bunch of other things, and then I happened to run a film festival, which was a revelation to me, because as a label from Montreal, that's kind of where you can't do. So I was like, just work at the film festival, and ended up working my way up from the volunteer.
I call it French. I lived in Paris and I don't speak French. I guess it's like the Emily in Paris version of French that I know, but we're working on it. That's a very fully hands-on, and the fact that you've been down in the trenches. Because when you're working, whether you're working on set, on a TV show or a feature film or a commercial, union or non-union, you know the hours, the work, and sometimes when we're binge watching the show or watching a feature in a theater, like one moment, like one scene that can go by like this, you're like, man, the amount of hours, the lighting, and setup, and wardrobe, and art department, designing, all the work that goes behind the scenes, like unless you've had that experience. Now, so tell me about taking on this role as an executive director and how you've seen VIFF grow.
Yeah, I will say that experience of all the moments that I've learned to see manifested in the same thing. So all the staff that we have here are incredible. And for every moment that's going so much tense in the theater, there's credit to that. So credit to them all the way. I have seen VIFF grow and change quite a lot in my time here. Over actually 6 years ago today, in 2019, and it was always supposed to be a 6-month interim executiveship. I was the director of operations before that, and the board asked me to step in and take control while they figured out what to do. And alongside that, we were preparing to renovate our cinema, our theater here, $3.5 million project. And so it seemed like an exciting opportunity for me. It became very complicated in the 5th month when we destroyed the floor here and started our renovations, took out a large loan, and then the government shut us down for 7 weeks. So it has been really trial by fire since then. But when you're faced with so much challenge and risk, there's a lot of opportunity throughout that. So we've actually grown by 20% in that time. This is in charge. We took the 6 years to really get to know ourselves as an organization, to really consolidate who we are, what our values are, what our values community is. And then next, now we're kind of at pressures for the next phase. So we're operating a strategic plan with the staff and the board. That's now a lot more sort of facing really eyes the next phase to express how we grow and how we can grow.
Wonderful. That's exciting to hear. I can only imagine like what it must have been like. You know, you're preparing for 2020, and then the pandemic happens. The whole industry were like, are we going to have work? Because we work with hundreds of people on set. When you took up the role, what would you say your vision was for VIFF, and how has that vision evolved? And now going into 2026, as you're mentioning, with all you preparing for the next season.
Well, when I took over, I didn't have a vision for VIFF other than surviving 2020. You know, I had to make some quick decisions right away in terms of bringing online. We were proactive about that because we were getting off in the long run. Then as things kind of settled into a rhythm and we kind of regained equilibrium, then I could start to think about the vision. But as I said, that first few years was really about transforming the organization's self-identity and self-perspective on our identity and sort of gaining consensus and clarifying on things and finishing a lot of unfinished changes that were already underway. With the festival founder and the programming team. So that kind of phase was really kind of deeper looking, and we were doing a lot of building. And we've done a lot of proactive work in reconciliation. It took a lot of time to get that point there. So there's a lot of relationship building that we were doing, trying to be more impactful to the greater arts community in BC. And so I've really been focusing on that. In terms of the vision moving forward, I don't think that we're servicing the community really enough. I think we have a lot of work to do to be more valuable to like the immigrants. I think we can look at expanding what we're doing outside of the downtown core and to be meeting people where they are. East Vancouver and South Vancouver and then into the other boroughs. I also think that we do a lot of really wonderful work nurturing filmmakers and their craft locally and also bringing international folks, but it's all through other movies. So I'm really exploring quite a radical expansion to be around that kind of work. And my
You
vision,
to expand to have venues like outside of the downtown core, is that?
that's part of the plan. That's part of the potential kind of tangible art we're looking at, but then also the artist programs holding up. I'm envisioning it transforming from a smattering of different programs into a conceptual banner of a film institute, so that we can be providing support, growth, and opportunity for filmmakers and all the key creators that factor into film all together.
That's brilliant. And I feel like especially when you're, you know, going to outside of the downtown core, which I live around the corner from here, it's amazing for me, and congrats on settling venues this season. But I can only imagine attracting new audiences, and audiences who perhaps have families who are not able to make the commute out into the city. And if you have theaters, like you have venues in like London, Surrey, and that part of the neighborhoods, that would be fantastic, right? So is that something that we can expect over the next 3 to 4 years?
It depends on how we manifest. So, you know, over the past few years, we did a bit of that festival, and it took the form of more of a pop-up movie festivals. We did them throughout the province in different areas. We helped our friends at Sure Vancouver set up the Sundar Prize, which was an incredible job. So we were supportive in that, and co-signers from the meeting, and really proud of what they built there. And then that's a good example where we can help expand cinema into a part of the greater Vancouver area and not need to be Vancouver ownership by that. We can help other organizations find their feet or build their So from my perspective, if you guys would like to move forward, so it would be really cool partnerships with groups in Richmond, Missouri, Burnaby, or it might be a permanent location elsewhere. Time will tell.
I had the opportunity to watch some of the screeners, sadly none of the films because I've been working this full time and in between I had to find time to sleep and eat and all the things. But some really beautiful films that Canadian filmmakers I got to see this year. Tell me and tell our viewers about this year's festival and how we can expand on that in the next year.
Well, Canadian film and Indigenous film, and in particular films from BC, have been a strength of this festival for years, particularly over the last 10 to 12 years. And we have no signs of that letting up. We're the largest platform for BC film in the world, and we're the most profound springboard opportunity for to be national and international recognition. And fortunately, that's coming at a time when the strength of filmmaking is really happening here. So they didn't get to be those things. So I don't think you're going to see any of that change. I think what we can do is look at ways to support them in the year-round run festivals as well, and to help with kind of building sort of soft market activity and kind of business development opportunities for filmmakers at the festival year as well. But the films from Canada and BC are really, really strong here. You know, titles like Apache, which is a recent title, which you see, writer, director, and really actor, really, she is really talented. Canadian title, shot in BC by Vancouver and living in Toronto, called Blue Karen by Stephanie Murray. It's stunning and absolutely deserves a watch. It's won 2 awards at our festival and 2 other major awards at other festivals. And that just really speaks to the quality out there. Really happy to see Gail Race come back with Bloodlines, an incredible feature. There's a lot of talent, and you know, we might not be immediately apparent in our program because we have a category called Women Lines, which is our first and second features by Canadian filmmakers. But then our more established Canadian and Indigenous screeners show up in other programs, like the documentary program, into the panorama program, which is our showcase and special presentations for our museum. So you see talent right there in the
Now, we touched on this earlier when you mentioned that ministers and also underrepresented voices, Indigenous, BIPOC, LGBTQ+, experimental. How are you and the programming team focusing on ensuring that those voices are seen and visible when it comes to the line?
Yeah, it's important work, needless to say. There's a lot of ways in which we can go about this work. One kind of maybe more subtle answer to that is that in my time and with my programming personal stuff, we've been shifting the programming team from kind of a few full-time folks to involving more curators from region and around the world, and really looking to kind of diversify the programming team, have people programming for either communities or for their diaspora communities from religious supports. So trying to really make sure that those voices are represented not just in the films that are selected, but in the selection process itself, which is difficult because the world is large and has many different voices in it, but it's a start. And then the next is that it's worth acknowledging that 2 things. One is that that the festival is an international film festival, first and foremost, in the world, and it's a complex universe. So it's a privilege to be able to program films from the world from creators from all different backgrounds, and that changes the complexion and the voice changes every year with the films available. But that intrinsic diversity and representation has always been, I think, it's one of the things I love most about the festival. The other thing is that it really needs to be acknowledged that after, you know, whatever we're at, 100 years of Hollywood doing its thing and dominating perspective on film, and all of the rights and wrongs kindness and eloquence and grace. We have an incredible generation, so extremely diverse creators, and it's always changing, and it's really, really exciting to be able to work with. So I think we look to that as a really natural extension of the festival program because we are international and because we're all competitive cinema and so many films and short films and television projects being made. The one is coming from diverse creators, from Indigenous creators, from people of color, just incredibly excited. So there's a ton of built together to show.
And what I'm truly excited about is what you mentioned, turning to these two, supporting these filmmakers and giving them tools so they have access to make more films. I'm sure that would attract more, like, Vancouver is, we are Hollywood, and over the years, like, things have shifted and changed, but I know folks coming out from the East wanting to be here just so they can dip their toes, whether they're working on the Hollywood productions or that inspires them or that's where they make the money to make their own projects. I know many folks like that will be working on like they see that they should during the week and on the weekends, they're making their own films. I'm going to talk about the festival volunteers. This is the first time I must say I've really had an opportunity to have some really interesting conversations. It is not a lot of people know that this takes a lot of staff and a lot of volunteers. It's someone making popcorn and from a shopping to the exchange center on our street. And I can make it this lovely city and so tell us about coming on board as an executive director, what your relationship is like with these volunteers and how movie lovers but also students who want to perhaps dip their toes into it and see what they can learn and how they can give back or how they can get more involved. Sometimes you don't know what you want to do, whether you want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera.
Yeah, it's not at all involved to say that this organization cannot function without here. It's not possible. So that is a basic consideration. I think I have a unique vantage point in my current position because my first year in 2014 I was a manager, and I worked directly with volunteers many different organizations this year. And really learned from outside of the life and I worked on cinema all year round at our cinema, VIFF centers all year round. We have 200 plus volunteers year round, and over 900 and over 900, yeah. Shout out to the volunteer department for organizing all of that. But the thing is that it's not just kind of this transactional relationship. I know dozens and dozens of volunteers, like families, all the time. Exchange, and who I know things about her life and just things about my life because we are really at the end of the day a community. And it's the community center in many respects year round as well. So they're the very few more organization, and they're dedicated film fans or they're often international students trying to find their way in the city, or they can be filmmakers who just say coming out of film school. They can be folks working in hospitality who want to share their experience, or we even have former executive directors of other organizations driving cars, driving guests around who just love the festival. They want to get involved. And I think for all of us, myself included, VIFF is a means to an end to help. And it's just one of those means to make Vancouver more local. So I want this to be about our community. I want people don't feel home here and safe here and like they're respected. And then I want to bring that out to other organizations as well. So, you know, how can we kind of thread together a more method of like growth and volunteership is really important. I love that. And so it's a sort of sharing of those resources and experiences that we all have with other organizations as well.
So if anyone is interested in volunteering, they can just go to the website, I think whether you're in high school or middle school or just passionate as now or passionate about volunteering, I think it would be a great opportunity and you get to meet new friends and especially if you're new in the city, that would be such a great way of finding community. If you could describe this year in 3 words, what words would you use?
3 words. I'm not known for keeping my words short.
Okay, so 3 sentences.
I'll try to keep it brief. I mean, I think VIFF being a festival, it is it's overflowing. We have an overflowing of where we can go. I also think it's deeply immersive. So we have a program that is quite complex. Features and yet it's divided up into all these programs, documentaries, community, etc. And some years there's kind of like a lopsided experience, right? So sometimes it's heavy on one end and like the other. This year it's solid across. It's just in a way that our eyes is really and then I think the third word would be, you know, celebratory. That I can see people out there, my friend who's in funnel, in Apple Strategy for 3 days of going part of that ticket target. And that just tells you how that just tells you how much people are consuming this, they're ready for this, and everyone's being so nice to each other, really kind in the lineups, really nice to volunteers. There is a really kind of like sincere embracing and celebrating volunteers.
It's also a great time for the community to get together, for us to meet with the community. For me, it's always been there at the opening night. I was in the red carpet, and then afterwards you just see all these friends that you haven't worked with or seen in a while, or have to exchange and meeting new friends. So it really networking opportunities. So whether you have a project in the festival or not, I feel like one should remember filming or after or production design or whatever, get your pass, get involved and see your friends, because for me it's that. Because sometimes I see friends just during festivals because we were just so busy, whether it's in Vancouver or in Toronto or Canada, it's like, okay, we see each other on, at the after party or whatever, but not. How does VIFF engage with the local community speaking about this beyond the screens and beyond the festival, like outreach and education and accessibility?
Well, yeah, one thing I can say is we're engaged volunteers, so it's maybe a bit different than other organizations because our program is so expansive. So I think we have well over 5 different events for this festival, in terms of panels and labs and workshops and screenings and parties and receptions and all the things that we do. So it takes a lot of hours to make it all work. We have high school programs, free to attend high school programs running all throughout the festival and we do announcements with teachers and educators. We do lots of artist development programs and labs, education, apps. There's hundreds of film professionals in the city right now working on this program with us. We also have little other kinds of access programs that occur, so we work with tons of community groups, either by like region, so like cultural centers, where we offer tickets to those, or into community groups, whether it's for autism network or things like that, that help reach communities that aren't always the first to come to the here, but we want to make a space for them. And then we also do, lots of outreach mechanisms. Free tickets to other screens for stuff like Indigenous folks. We do lots of different kinds of community outreach mechanisms because this festival is really for everybody. And not everyone can afford to come here. Not everyone knows what we do. So we have a lot of work to do more important to those folks across Vancouver. And it's almost cheaper. So one year we might have a really great success with this community, and next year we need to kind of focus up on the outreach as well. So I think it's a never-ending. I think of it as like tending a garden. So some years we focus on certain areas, and other areas tend to get a bit of a grow or a tendency, and we have to kind of always be moving around, making sure that everything's getting its light and its water.
Two more days to go for this festival to end. So for those watching on the live stream, make sure to get your tickets, catch a film. I think I need to do that because the popcorn here is very enticing. It smells amazing, and honestly, there's nothing like being in a theater and watching a film. And for me, during the festival season, I would love to watch one of the because it just really, I think it was last year, this year before they were. Of course, this year there's a lot of French movies, and this is also a magnificent film and scripture. It just takes you to this remote village, and I was like, my goodness, that is an experience watching this movie. I forget the name, but I remember how it made me feel, and it just, that's the beauty of it. I learned too much by watching movies, so I'm a big movie lover. But thank you so much, Kyle, for joining us. I know you're busy. I'll be working on the next 40 years. It's just a big 40 year.
It is, yeah. I'm the same age as the festival, so it's a great reminder of what's coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And folks, make sure to come out and support the International Film Festival. We have many different venues. Let's talk a bit about the venues and sort of for everyone should go because you guys expanded on the venues. We have Alliance Francais and Mango Island.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, in addition to the 7 or 8 theaters we had last year, we had two partnerships with Alliance Francais, which is up on Kennedy Street by 47. Beautiful building, and they're getting around. The new streets are in. Checking it out. And then the partnership with the Arts and Culture Society for the Area Lab here stage, and it's been really lovely to go into the spaces. The more that we can be sharing our program and our resources with our peers and as a community, with our team, our peers in this community, and learning with them and sharing audiences, it makes a huge difference.
Love it. Amazing. Well, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching, for tuning in. Until next time, I'm Zara Devine, and the show is produced with the support of Tellus Story by LCC. Merci beaucoup. Sorry if I went over. Okay, just 30 minutes.
It doesn't matter to me. I just